Cyndi and Ivette here with Don't Be This Girl podcast. How's everybody doing? How are you doing, my friend?
Hey guys, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Just loving this Tennessee weather. And I just saw some lightning to the right of my peripheral, so we shall see.
We have storms in Tennessee. I love it. Well, today, speaking of storms, today we're going to be talking about something that might be a little controversial. I can't even say that word right now. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we know.
About keeping yourself up. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And, as a married person, I have now found my Prince Charming. And some people may think that, keeping yourself up, looking good is just for like dating or something like that. Or, when I get married and I have my guy already, I don't have to keep it up. I don't have to, dress up or, even as much as wear perfume or do my hair, anything like that. But I have found, I will just tell you guys right now, I am guilty of that because I was always kind of like that tomboyish kind of gal. I did like to be in sweats in my younger years and stuff like that. And now a lot of people are walking around in gym wear and they don't even go to the gym, But for me, I realized that, I can't do that. Like I can't do that to my poor husband, like he saw me one way when we were dating and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden I turn into, like I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna anyway, like a Walmart person, I'm just cruising around with Ugg boots, sweats, and an oversized t-shirt,
Ooh, that's comfortable. That's comfortable.
Right? But for me, I do fall into that, like when we're home and when we're, just relaxing and stuff like that, I do want to be comfortable and be relaxed. But at the same time, I do want to get dressed up. And for me, it brings a little joy, right? Because it makes you feel better. It helps you to feel better. You're lifted up. You're looking good and you're feeling good, So for me as a married person, I feel like I have to kind of keep that up for him and just kind of, throw that spice in there. But Cyndi, you're single. So how do you feel about that? How does that work with you guys?
Well, and it's so interesting, Oh, did you hear that?
Ooh, I did hear it and I saw it too.
That's just right here in beautiful Tennessee. This weather is so much fun, though, I have to say. It's so green and everything is so lush. And it was so crazy. Like, I know we're talking about fashion and keeping yourself up, but for the 4th of July, we were literally lighting fireworks in the backyard, which is all green, all grass, and all trees. But because it's so lush, none of the houses in our neighborhood caught on fire, and everybody was doing them in their backyard on the grass.
Wow. Yeah, you can't do that here in California. I mean, it's pretty much banned everywhere.
Wildfire. But, I love this topic. I was actually chuckling because I was looking at just some of the statistics. Now, this is for both men and women. According to a 2022 study by Unbound, a lifestyle marketplace, 81% of people prioritize comfy over style, or they prioritize comfy over cost when choosing what to wear. And the study also found that people just feel like, oh yeah, I need to break free from choosing the clothes that I should wear, and that really comfort is being called the new luxury. And so it's interesting. I have to say that, yes, there have been seasons where I would say that's me. I'm in the comfort and that's my luxury, is being comfortable. But I have to say that also, when I found myself in that constant state of comfort, then I felt like I didn't have as much vision. I felt like it played more into my mental. And so, like, even during the pandemic, there were times where I said, I'm by myself, okay? I lived in a half garage attached to a 1-bedroom. I decided I'm putting on my pumps and my heels today. Ain't
And
nobody
were you
here.
more productive?
I just felt like I had more vision and purpose when I was in the heels and dressed up. And some of it also, I have to say, was inspired. I didn't want to get Ugg feet, and I didn't want to get, just my feet to grow out from my Birkenstocks and my flip flops. I'm like, girl,
The
you got to get
Flintstone
your.
feet.
Didn't want that. Didn't want that.
Oh,
But I think definitely yes. To answer your question, I think there is sometimes that what's the word? Especially with social media and everything. And we talk about social media all the time, but there is that push to dress to impress. Now I love fashion. I love pretty clothes. I like nice designs. I like nice cuts no matter what size I am, no matter what weight I am. I think it's important to. Now, you might say, well, what are you talking about, girl? You got the grays growing on. This is because I have moved and I don't have a hairdresser yet.
oh Lord. We need to
The
find the
girl that did my
hairdresser.
hair, I know my good girlfriend, Jen Segovia, she had been doing my hair, like blowing it out, styling it, dyeing it. She has been my girl for over 18 years. And
Wow.
moving, here comes another crack because that was a
That was
really.
beautiful.
I'm on the top floor, mind you. I remember having our first like thunderstorm and hail, and I'm like, where do I go if I hear the tornado sirens? Because I'm on the top floor.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Um, but still, even with the crazy hair, and right now we already know that I'm just letting it get healthy for the summer. And I always have that motto of you can't beat it, join it. The weather out here during the summer is very muggy. So no point in me trying to blow my hair out sitting under a hard hat blow dryer with my rollers on to make it look pretty when it's just gonna frizz and grow out like a chia pet the minute I'm outside. So
Yeah.
right now it's curly, but I have to say, minus this season with my hair during the summer and finding a hairdresser, there is that push to dress to impress, especially with single women. But I don't, I have to say that for me, I prefer to dress up. Even if I'm at home and I'm not going anywhere, I still like to look nice for myself, and not to say there are not those seasons where maybe I'll throw my hair up in a mom bun. But I'll also put my earrings on. I'll still put a little bit of makeup on, even if it's just me, because I just feel like it makes me feel better. I don't know if that's good
Yeah.
or bad. I don't know if that's shallow or not shallow, but I think it does get you into a habit of taking care of yourself. I was reading about, I love statistics and all of these types of things. And now here's another thing that we can talk about is, according to research, talking about shopping habits of of all sizes, 1 in 8 women, 13%, say that they dress off to show off their body. And
Hmm.
then 53% women,
Interesting.
they say they dress actively to cover things up. I would be in that 53% of covering things up, but I still like to feel glamorous. I like to look
Yeah.
glamorous. Even if I'm in my home, I like to wear makeup. I don't feel like some people will say, well, that's fake and it's not natural. And I say if that I like that. I like that aspect of it. I think it's important to keep yourself up. Now, living here and even prior to moving here, my lifestyle got a little bit to where I was not as able to keep up with like a workout regimen. I think I'm excited about now my new life here in this season because I do feel like that's something I miss. I think that's important too. Like, even if you're living for yourself by yourself and you're not married and you're not dating anybody, I want to get healthy, keep healthy, and fit just for me, you
Hmm.
know? And I think there's something to be said about that. Are we doing it for us or are we doing it for somebody else? I feel like I felt the best when I was running every day and I was actively just really taking care of myself, spirit, soul, and body. And
Yeah.
body isn't just the makeup and the hair and dressing nice. I think it's also what you do is you coach people
Hmm.
into, taking better care of themselves. And, you
Yeah.
know, 3 years ago, was it 2020, I just said I wasn't feeling well physically. And I'm like, I know I have to just get better because grew up athletic, skiing, running, flag football captain, all the things. I loved floor hockey. I was always active playing tennis and cheerleading in college. And so somewhere my life just switched over, became much more sedentary. It was actually after grad school, because even in grad school, I would run 3 miles every day, whether it was cold, 30 degrees outside, raining. I just loved it. It was my way that I would cleanse my thoughts and pray and all of the things.
Isn't that interesting, that you're saying that? Because it's like, I always tell like my clients and friends and all, every body is different. So not only are
Mm-hmm.
you and I different, but our bodies are different as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you saying that about when you were younger, you were more active. It's the opposite for me. I wasn't. I might have gone to the
Mm-hmm.
beach and gone to the mountains and done things but I sat around watching other people do things a lot of the times.
Wow. Yeah.
And
That is
now,
interesting.
since I got healthier, I think it was in 2018, I had just had it and I just said, hey, I need to get healthier. I was like 48 years old. My son was going to be getting married. I did not want to hide behind a camera anymore, and there were
Yes.
so many um, mental things, emotional things for me that led to me getting healthy. And
Yep.
then that also came, like dressing better, because I was able to fit into things that I hadn't been able to fit into for years. And then having that
Mm-hmm.
fun shopping and stuff like that. But I'm more active now in my 50s
Mm-hmm.
than I
Mm-hmm.
was in my 20s.
Yeah.
And that could have been my lifestyle and the crazy things I was doing in
Sure.
my 20s. But I just didn't have that confidence or that drive.
Mm-hmm.
I love what you said about, getting dressed up and just feeling like, you could do more. And
Mm-hmm.
it reminded me of my mom would always tell me, always get up, shower, brush your teeth, be ready, be dressed. Because, back in the day, people would just show up, your friends would just come. We didn't have cell phones, or anything like that. You just had a house phone. So they might have called and said that I was coming over, or somebody might
Yeah.
just stop by. So she,
Mm-hmm.
that was one of her big things, was to always be showered and dressed and ready in case somebody came over, you wanted to look presentable. And it was more of like maybe like a respect thing, not only for other people and your friends, but just for yourself, to feel better
Yes.
and to not be like caught off guard. I mean, how many times how many times has somebody come over, or you decided one time, this is why I say Walmart people, it was so funny. Kyle and I had to go get I was going to go get gas, and it was, a cold, rainy night. And I said, okay, I'm just going to go get gas for work tomorrow. But that's it. So I'm going to get out of the car, put gas in, I'm going to come back. So I had my Ugg boots on, I had my sweatpants on, and my oversized sweatshirt. And my hair was up in a bun, and I looked a mess. And then all of a sudden he says, oh, we need to go get batteries at Walmart. And I was like, really? I'm not dressed. Like, I'm thinking, no, I can't be one of those people. And I was, and it was the funniest thing. And I wish I had this photo to share with everyone, because Kyle took a picture of me going around a corner and I looked like Sasquatch, in these Ugg boots and stuff, going around a corner in Walmart. And it was the funniest thing. But I was terrified because I was not dressed appropriately to go to
Yeah.
even to Walmart, and it was just so funny. But yeah, I think it does. It is very different on how it makes you feel, you know,
Yes,
and
for
being
sure.
healthy and being able to fit better into clothes and stuff like that. That was
Yes.
so fun for me when I had started to get
Hmm.
healthy.
Yes.
And even now, you know, you've even introduced me to some really great fashions and stuff, and I'm having so much fun with that because
Mm,
it does really lift your spirits up, you know,
something
and
about
I
it.
love that part about it. It just lifts you up.
That's so true. I love that too. And I think no matter what trends are in, like I know right now it is the joggers, it is athletic wear. How am I saying it?
Athleisure,
Athleisure.
I think that's
Um,
the word.
Sure. And it's, and it's cute and all the things. And sometimes it's fitting. There have been times where I'm helping out with like a pop-up market or something. And so I throw on my Adidas and my workout pants and an Adidas zip up, and there goes my phone in the side pocket, and it still looks cute. But I think you can still be appropriate for that situation and still feel very cute. You feel very bouncy. And it doesn't matter what size you are. That's the thing, like, again, I was starting to share, in 2020, I was like, I don't feel well. Even going to bed, I wasn't feeling well. And it's like, well, you've never been this heavy in all of your life. You've got to just take control back of your life. And really for me, it was my work. It was like the work that I did and where I worked, there's always food, and I would get out 2 in the morning. And then sometimes I would work till the sun would come up. And so where's my time? I was not being good to my body. I was really running
Mhm.
it ragged. I was eating wrong, and I was not finding time, to work out and things like that. And when I grabbed a hold of that, um, and I have not been that size again, thankfully, and praise the Lord, but literally I hit 220 pounds. I'm only five
Mm.
three. And so I started on my own. I just said, I've got, like, Lord, I need you to help me get back to being healthy and back to where I know I feel good and where I should be. And, I think that's the thing, because when I was younger, I was obsessed with working out. I was so into Olivia Newton-John. I would work out sometimes 3 times a day. Jane Fonda, I was all about all their workouts, and I was obsessed. If I was sick, I was still working out. I remember having my wisdom teeth pulled out and still went to the gym, and I felt horrible. But I didn't want to ever go over 110 pounds. And I was so
Mm.
obsessed with it. So I think there's there's also there's a place of health where it should be, where
Yeah.
it's not, that's not your identity, and you're not consumed with that. But
Mhm.
then with work and everything, I just allowed it to go all the way to the other side, literally doubling my weight, if you think about it, because I hit 220. And then
Yeah.
that was it. That was it for me. And it was just, I mean, even when I dropped my first five, then when I dropped the next five, I already started to feel so good. And I was so thankful. And I was doing it right. I wasn't doing these bad diets because I didn't want it to all come back in 3 months, you
Right.
know?
It's a
And
very
so
healthy
now
decision.
it's a healthy decision. And it was like,
Mm.
okay, let's go back to eating the greens, the salads, but still the yummy dressings. Let's still have the yummy chicken shawarma with the delicious garlic sauce on it, but you don't need the French fries that come with that pita, and you don't need all that pita bread. And
Yeah.
it was just making smart. And I totally eliminated all Coca-Cola and Pepsi. I think once in every 6 months I might have a Diet Coke, you
Mhm.
know, but it was just making these decisions. So I still was feeling better, even though I didn't get all the way back to 110. And even when when I came to Tennessee last May, I mean, out here, girl, it's macaroni and cheese, it's cornbread, it's all the things, it's brisket, it's barbecue. And that is really kind of when I started to like eat that again, was coming out here to visit. So now I'm saying, okay, these are the places, if you go, you can go once every 2 months, or maybe if
Yeah.
somebody's in town, but you don't need to go there twice a week, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just making those decisions and then just still taking care of myself. I still like to go put on a scarf. I love scarves. I still make sure that but it's for me. You
Yeah.
know, as a single woman at 55, I still feel very good about how I present myself. And to your
Yeah.
point, I remember being in grad school and my pastor, who I had grown up with, this man was just beautiful, top to bottom, his uh, top, yeah, to head to toe. That's what I meant to say. And his wife, they were just the most glamorous couple, beautiful inside and out. And he would say, I mean, if he would go out, sometimes he might be in like a really pretty velvet jogger, but his hair and his rings and always looking, smelling yummy. And so that's how I also grew up, you know, from my mid-teens on. And I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. There was a big conference out there. He was out there. I ran into him at Walmart because I was in Tulsa. But I was looking all cute with my little fashionable outfit. Well, then at the end of one of the sessions, my mom said, "Can you come get me?" Well, at that time, I was already going to bed. I was in my rollers and it was cold, like 30 degrees. And I said, "Okay, I'll come get you, but I'm not getting out of the car because I'm in my pajamas." And then all of a sudden I'm looking through the window and I see all these friends of mine from California who I hadn't seen since I moved to Oklahoma. And I go, "Oh, I have to get out and hug them." So I'm hugging them all. I'm in my pajamas and a big stadium coat with my rollers in my hair and gold foil pig slippers. And all of a sudden, who do I see but this beautiful man and his gorgeous wife coming toward us? I go, "Oh no, it's Pastor." And I hide behind a friend of mine who's very tall. She's about 6 feet tall. And she had a trench coat. I said, "Debbie, please just span your coat like this. He cannot see me." So she would just kind of keep turning her coat away.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I was hiding behind her.
Friends, don't go out unless you're dressed appropriately. Like, these are two perfect examples
Yeah.
between Cyndi and I of just don't do it.
Don't do
Because
it.
you never know who you're going to run into,
That's
or,
right.
or even, as a single woman, like,
Yeah.
you could be running into the man of your
Uh-huh.
dreams. And is
Mm-hmm.
this the way you want to show up? Like, because he may not even look your direction. And not to say that it should be about that for guys,
That's right.
or, for us looking at that, because honestly, I mean, thank God that Kyle is as handsome as he is, but certain things, like, I could have maybe not even looked his direction, or vice versa.
Sure.
We may not have even looked at each other's direction. And clearly we did not for quite some time, because we used to hang out at the same place and never saw each other. And it could have just been something that we just saw past each other.
Right.
But
It's
yeah,
true. It's
it's
good.
it's funny, and it's cute to laugh at now, but oh man, keeping yourself up, not only health wise, like you were saying, I
Yeah.
mean, it just makes you feel better when you're taking
Yes.
care of your health.
Yes.
And then dressing up a little bit. But again, like, I'm going from one extreme to the other. Dress up a little bit, do it for yourself, feel better for yourself.
Yes.
But there are some relationships out there where the man is the one demanding it of you. And
Yes.
so, they want that trophy
Yeah.
wife, so to speak, and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So we're not going towards that, because we don't want anybody to ever feel that they need to be that trophy wife. This is about you and how it makes you
That's right.
feel. And then
Yes.
also just being a good representation of yourself. I always
Yes.
tell my son, because, sometimes he gets a little sloppy looking and stuff. And I'm just like, and this was when he was younger. And I was like, "Babe, you are a representation of me." Like, so if
Yeah.
people see you looking like that, they're like thinking, "This woman does not know how to raise her child," and I
Mm-hmm.
take it to that level, because that's where my
Yes.
mom was. And that's where my grandma was. It was always very, very strict about that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just different. It's fun. But, as a married woman, I would, you know, just suggest to you ladies, like, don't fall into that.
Sure.
I'm
Hmm.
comfortable and my man loves me no matter what. Of course he does. Of course that's what we want
Yes.
for you. But we
Yeah.
also want to keep that love alive. We want to keep that spice alive. There's nothing wrong with trying to dress up for your
Hmm.
man now, for your husband now, like you did when you would date. Like that's the
Yeah.
exciting part, right? Like let's get dressed
Yeah.
up. I'm going on a date. I need to look this way. I need to have my hair done. I mean, look at prom. How
That's
much did
it.
we go crazy with money and getting hair done and getting nails done and getting everything done to look
Mhm.
perfect for prom? And so
Yeah.
where does that stop? To where we
No,
get
agree.
these, baggy, unattractive sometimes clothing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And as you're
gotta
saying
keep it
that,
down.
I love that. You talk about prom, and it would be the same thing when somebody gets married. I mean, they're putting on the most beautiful to be presented to this new man who's going to be her husband. And so there's just something about that preparation side of things, and I know this isn't what this topic is about necessarily, but I do remember as a single woman one day saying, I want to spend time with the Lord in my most beautiful outfit. I come to the morning and I'm in my pajamas and maybe I haven't even brushed my teeth, and sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, during that morning time when you're praying and things like that. Um, but I said, I'm going to get the most dressed up. I'm talking my pearls. I'm talking putting on my makeup. I put on a beautiful gown, and there's just something about getting dressed up and presenting yourself in that manner. And it was one of the most beautiful and precious moments I've ever had, spending time with the Lord, just him and I. And there I looked so beautiful and I felt so beautiful. And I felt like he was just like, thank you so much. He doesn't care. He loves us as we are. He sees our heart.
Yeah.
But there is just something about doing that. And I remember, and I know we're going to wrap it up. I do remember there was a season, my mom, she was going through a divorce, and I was in grad school in Oklahoma. And I remember just looking at pictures, and when my mom was in her 70s, not in her, but in the 70s, and in the early 80s, she was so fashionable. I mean, she had the flyest outfits, always looking cute, and she whatever was trending and whatever was on the cover of an LP, my mom was wearing that. She
Mm.
looked so good all the time. Had the right clutch, had the right shoes. And I just remember thinking, oh, she's always wearing Keds tennis shoes, and they weren't even real Keds. They were probably like from, you know, Gemco or Fedco or Zodi's or something back in the day. And she'd wear it with socks and like one of those big, those t-shirts that were dresses. They were just
Oh
long,
yeah.
talking about, and then she'd wear her and pull it back in a little scrunchie. And I just said, Mom, when I graduated, I came back and moved back to California. I just had to have this heart to heart with her about all the things like changing her eating habits. I said, if you like the burger, eat the burger, but don't have the fries and the soda. Instead have a salad and have some water. And she started changing these things, and I sifted out her closet. I said, I'm going to get rid of things that are not fashionable and things that I don't want to see wearing anymore. And she allowed me. And I think that's something to be said, like allowing people, being open enough to allow people who love you to speak into your life. And I had some things that I was getting rid of, like, oh, this cute skirt from the Gap, this cute sweater from the Gap. Oh, here's some really cute scarves I was getting rid of. And so she said, oh, I'll take them. And she started wearing them to work. She goes, I cannot believe all the compliments I'm getting. People are saying, well, you look so nice today. Where are you going? She was just going to work. But all of a sudden, she felt so much better about herself. because she was investing in herself. We need to invest. We invest in things that are important, but that most important thing, it should be you.
Yeah.
And she was investing in herself, and it changed everything about the way people perceived her at work. She started gaining favor with people at work. People were taking notice of her work at work,
Hmm.
you know. So again, do you dress up or do you just stay in your mom bun and in your sweatpants?
Yeah. And I mean, and some people may be, saying like, hey, that is the fashion today. And it is.
Hmm.
I mean, my hair is so long now. I more than likely have it up in a bun just to get it out of the way. But there is a
Hmm.
way to do your hair in a bun. They have the
Sure.
messy bun, and that can be very beautiful. And I follow a lot of people like on their Pinterest pages and stuff that they do these beautiful hairdos that are casual, but they're
Yes.
beautiful. Same
Yes.
thing with makeup. There's a certain type of makeup that you could wear, or that, things that you can do, for skincare. You don't have to wear
Yes.
makeup. I mean, I would say
True.
90% of the time in my life, I do not wear makeup. Like,
Hmm.
I just don't. It's kind of like a Sunday thing almost, I would say for me, because I work
Hmm.
in a warehouse for some days of the week. I work in a warehouse. It's freezing in there, so I do show up, and I
Yes.
and I make fun of myself. I'm like, I feel like a homeless person in my big bushy jackets and things, and my
Yes.
layers and stuff like that. And it was funny, one time I had to get ready for an event, and so I took all my clothes, and I had done my hair and my makeup in the morning, and then I went in, and it was like Superman changing in the phone booth or something, and I came out, and they were like, "Who are you?" They had never seen me look like that before, and they were like, "Dang, girl,
Mm.
you clean up well." And it's so funny because it just sometimes it just takes a couple things, but like
Sure.
knowing how to do the casual updos that are cute still,
Yes.
taking care of your health, which is going to take care of your skin, and which is going
Yes.
to make you feel better, and want to be, that word you're always saying, presenting yourself.
Hmm.
Like, that is
Yes.
so powerful. You're
Yes.
presenting yourself to the world. And
Mm.
so, some may have that. Well, I don't care. I don't care what you think. And that, I get
Yeah.
it. I get it.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
was that girl, I'm just like, I am who I am. You either love me this way or you don't. I don't care.
Hmm. Yeah.
But you guys, I promise you, it makes you feel so much better. And it's
Yes.
just fun, especially when you do it with a girlfriend. I love when we go to the mall and we get all dressed up and have
Oh, yeah. We've
fun
had
with
some
our
fun
little
moments.
designers. It's fun. It
Michael
makes you feel
Kors.
like a rock star.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about putting a little bit of effort into your appearance and, just having lived all these years, there have been times where, I know that there are friends that wear no makeup,
Mhm.
but I'll say, I know you don't wear any makeup, but also every time I see your face is so dry, you
Mm.
know, how about we invest in a little bit of skincare? I mean, go to Trader Joe's and they'll say, well, I don't know what to get, so I go, okay, well, so I'll go to Trader Joe's. And I'm like, here's like a little skincare line you could wear and you invest in this, it'll probably last you 3, 4 months, but you're moisturizing your skin. Even that makes a big difference. You're
Mhm.
moisturizing your skin. And some people take it a step higher. They'll do just mascara and lip gloss. Great. And so they're just putting a little bit of effort into yourself. And it really does go a long way. It really does
Mhm.
go a long way.
Yeah.
So I love
This
that.
is
And
great.
it's great. And you might be low maintenance. And so stay low maintenance, but still put effort into your appearance, and I just think it's going to help you in so many different ways. I want to end on this note. One of my favorite stories about a minister that I love, she was single, and she was getting on a plane. She dropped something, and a gentleman bent down to pick it up and saw her shoes. She must have been wearing some nice shoes because they are married now, and she's married to one of the band members of Journey.
What?
He was a band member of in Journey, and now she's married to this former well, not really former rock star. I mean, he's still, I'm sure he still plays when he has a chance, but I love that story. And so my niece sometimes, I remember flying into Indiana to watch her play lacrosse. I think it was last year. And they're filming me, her and my sister. And she's like, why is Aunt Cyndi dressed? And I was in a Michael Kors sweater with a matching Michael Kors skirt. And I had a little shrug and my Tory Burch flip flops. No, my Michael Kors are a little bit, they were still sandals with the little, thong sandal. And was that, what do you call that sandal? Is it a thong sandal? I don't
I have
know.
no idea.
But it was so comfortable. But to the point where even one of the flight attendants, he was like, ooh, girl, you're looking good. I said,
On a
Michael,
flight, yeah, I would be the opposite. I would be like in my I don't know, my Nike compression pants or something.
but it was so comfortable. It was a sweater, a short, like a sweater like this with a matching sweater, but it said MK. It was, I just called it my jet set, my Michael Kors jet set outfit because it was so comfortable.
Comfortable but stylish.
Yes.
I love it. And you're presenting yourself, and look, who could take notice? Somebody's going to take notice, and it could be that next someone, or that
Could be that next
someone.
Yep.
Yeah. And oh Lord. Okay. So we have to close this off, but I'm just going to say it, men, because please do the same, because there are some fashions out there for men nowadays that I'm like, I would look at that and I would run the other way. I'm like, he wouldn't even have time to like show the personality or the caring, person that he is. Cause I would just be like, nope, don't want to see it. So this goes for guys and gals. And, but yeah, honestly though, I mean, this is great. This is a great topic, keeping yourself up for yourself, first and foremost, feeling great about yourself, doing healthy things for yourself. Even if it is just, skincare. Yeah, absolutely. Be intentional about, how you look and how you're presenting yourself to the world around you.
Yes. And if you feel like, oh, I'm just, I'm very low maintenance and I don't do anything. Well, at least wash your face, brush your teeth, floss your teeth. There are still things you can do to feel a little bit better. And you all know when you don't feel well, what is one of the first things I always say? Just take a shower, take a long shower when you don't feel well. And how does that make you feel when you're done? Oh, I feel so good, I mean, showers are everything. So, that to me is just like representative of, and that's probably not the word that I'm looking for, but it just takes a little to make you feel like really, really good, as long as you're intentional and you're just doing what you can do to take care of yourself.
I love that. Just a little. That's all it takes. I love that. Well, thank you guys for joining us today for this episode. If you have not gotten our book, please do so. We're on Amazon. Follow our podcast as you're listening today as well. And, we always say, like, if you're looking to start a book club, please, take a look at our book, Don't Be This Girl. And, we would love to, I have a friend who's going to be taking it back to her university. And, this is where we want to be. We want to be able to inspire and lift up the younger generation, as well as our own generation with this book and our experiences. So we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, subscribe. We're on Spotify and Apple, and of course YouTube. So you're obviously listening or watching on one of those. And we're also in Barnes and Noble, so that's fun too.
So, all right, guys, we hope you have a great week, and we will see you next time on Don't Be This Girl.
Bye.